Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm Office Bloke Aidan.
I'm Gaynor.
I'm Sophie.
And today we've got 5 winter objects only used after moving to America.
Yes.
You should be able to tell us some.
Off the top of my head, the only thing I can think of is a snowblower, which is like a bit like a lawnmower that you push in the snow.
Goes to the side, like
Yeah.
blows
And
out
it's got
to
like
the side.
a tube that spurts it over into a
Into
big
the neighbours.
pile. Yeah.
To the neighbour's house.
Yeah.
No, I've never seen that before in person.
No, I've seen it in
You
like
don't
a
see
film.
people. Yeah, you don't see
like.
people using it here.
No.
No, we don't get enough snow here.
The second it falls, it just like melts and goes out into like a mushy.
And I think the thing
pile.
here is we know when the snow's coming, so we're kind of prepared in like grit because we know.
Not all the time, to be fair.
But we don't get that much snow, so
No.
it's normal.
Like you might just wake up one morning over winter and
Yeah.
it's just white.
Yeah.
But it would
which I
only
do
be
like,
about
but-
3-4 inches, if that.
Yeah.
So you wouldn't need one of them.
No.
You just
It's
get a
nothing
shovel.
extreme.
No.
You wouldn't use anything other than like for your car, like an ice.
Yeah, like a little
scraper,
scraper.
An
Yeah.
ice scraper and maybe a shovel.
I had a brush that used to push along the top of the car too, but also most of the time it was in the garage, so it didn't really make any difference.
You know, you can get like a plastic bag and put boiling water in it and then just wipe it across the windshield.
That's what
and
I
then
do.
and it just goes away straight away.
Yeah.
I've seen that on TikTok,
Yeah. Yeah.
but I don't think it works.
No, but
Wait,
I
she
promise
does
you,
it?
I honestly, like, when we had the cold spell recently, I just get, like, a little Ziploc bag, pour, like, hot water in it that I've just boiled, zip it back up, and then just hold it over the windshield, like, and it melts all the ice.
Yeah.
No, I've seen that on TikTok, but somebody said to me that
Yeah.
once the window screen goes cold again, it freezes over.
Seems
No,
fine
because
on
by
mine.
that time you've got the heating on from the
Yeah,
inside.
yeah.
Yeah, I guess
So it's, like, heating, and then the, bag on it, and it does it, yeah.
I
Yeah.
just have
It
a
works.
can
It
of
works.
de-icer in my car at all
Tried and
times.
tested.
A can of de-icer.
Yeah.
See, I used to use de-icer, but it's honestly, it's so much quicker just using the bag of hot
Really?
water, yeah, yeah. Life hack.
That is a life hack.
Also, in
Oh.
America,
Okay.
a lot of cars have a remote control starting, so when you're in your house you can press the button and it starts the car and heats it up, and then all the...
You know, my car doesn't even
Jealous.
heat up unless I'm driving.
No, it just...
Like, I could sit in my car for an hour. I could get in my car, sit in it for an hour, no hot air would come out until I start driving.
Really?
Yeah.
Is it when you turn the engine on?
No, even when after I turn the engine on and everything, like the engine has to
Really?
heat up for the
Really?
yeah.
That's strange.
It's quite annoying actually.
Yeah. I'll save
So
it
I
and
always
buy
have
a
to
new
do the
one.
first 5 minutes of my journey blind with just snow on my screen. I'm just like head out the window like that. Like, do you know what I mean?
Like a dog.
Yeah. Anyway, should we watch this video?
Yes.
Yeah.
In England, I've never known weather that would sort of necessitate this kind of headgear. There's wind, but there's not sort of wind that brings along with it a wind chill of minus a billion. Hello, I'm Lawrence, and I'm on a quest to uncover all of the memos that Britain and America lost in the pond, and one of those memos pertains to the weather. Of course, the weather in both countries at this time of year gets a little cold, and we as human beings have to survive. In order to do so, we don't just shut ourselves in our houses and stick the heating on high. I mean, we do that. In fact, I mostly do that. But there are other ways in which we survive, and that is through the use of winter objects. Growing up in England, I will tell you now, there were certain winter objects with which I was familiar, you know, sledges instead of sleds, or toboggans, did the same thing pretty much, and just thin woolen gloves and snowballs. They're not an object, that's just snow.
Just before we start, do you prefer the summer or the winter?
I hate heat, so...
Oh, you
Even
lived in
though-
one of the hottest countries in the
I
world
know,
for
and
7
that's
years.
probably why the heat kills me. I do love the summer. I love light nights. I love being able to sit out till like
Yeah,
10 o'clock
that's
at
what-
night
Drinking,
with
yeah.
a glass of wine.
Love it.
I love that. But then I also love it when it starts to go cold again, and you can put your sweaters on and your boots and that
Yeah.
sort of weather.
Like
So,
autumn.
yeah. So if I was choosing to go on holiday, I would prefer to go somewhere that wasn't red hot. I'm not one of those that can lie out all day.
Oh,
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah,
Wait.
your age, I'll be like, you know,
Yeah, like
cremated.
give me sun.
No.
Do you prefer winter or summer?
Summer, 1000%.
Summer, yeah.
Like, I love Christmas. I love the build up to Christmas
No, I'm not a
and
fan
stuff.
to be honest.
No, you don't like Christmas.
It's not like I'm not a Grinch like that. I just don't like the. I'm just not a whole big fan of the Christmas songs,
No, like the
Christmas lights,
songs,
Christmas
like,
spirits.
it's quite
people
cheesy,
singing
innit, for a lot
carols.
of
It's not
people.
my thing.
No, whereas I just
Are you my
love the
child?
vibe.
Yeah, I don't like Christmas films.
I must admit,
I like the
as
presents.
a child, I didn't like Christmas Day.
No, I'm
No,
not.
you
I'm not that
I
big.
found it kind of, once I'd opened my presents, then it was a bit like, what do I do now?
Just like twiddle your thumbs for the rest of the day until you have your
dinner
Christmas
at
dinner.
3 o'clock.
Well, didn't we not last Christmas, but the Christmas before, we just ordered food?
No, well, last Christmas we went to...
Yeah, not last Christmas, the Christmas before.
You just ordered like Uber Eats or something?
I think so.
The Christmas that was just gone, we went into Manchester.
Yeah, but the one before that.
We went to stay at the Dakota with Declan and Gabby and Arlo.
Wait, where were we this one?
At that place in Manchester, just the 3 of us.
Oh,
You
yeah.
just block it out of your memory.
It must have been the year before that.
No, the year before that we went to Scotland with Cousin.
Nah, that was 4 years. That was at least 4 or 5 years
We've
ago.
never just ordered...
No, we did, because I remember sitting on the table. You made me a prawn cocktail, and then I ordered food, like some from, I don't know where it was from. You remember that? I know you remember that, because you remember making me that prawn cocktail.
I remember making a prawn cocktail.
Exactly, yeah. I've caught
Was
you
it
out.
on Boxing Day?
I've got you.
We didn't have delivery on Christmas Day.
Nah, yeah, it might have been Just Eat.
So I'm guessing your favourite season's winter then?
No.
Summer, just
Do you know
give me
what?
all the
No,
sun.
it's not even that. It's like, I like it in between winter and summer. Because I like...
Autumn.
Yeah, no, but no, I
spring.
prefer spring, yeah. Like almost what it is now, to be honest.
Yeah, where it's like, I love this
I like
time of year, it's the build-up.
I like wearing a lot of clothes. So like I like wearing a hoodie and a coat, but not wearing that
But
so
not
I'm
freezing.
too hot.
Yeah,
or wearing it so I'm freezing.
Yeah. Just like, I
But
like
I like
to
it to be
snuggling.
sun light until late at night.
Yeah.
And
And then the build up to like your summer holiday.
yeah, exactly.
Congealed. But
Kind of-
after moving
but
to
went-
America,
went a bit
I
off track-
realised there were
off topic
actually
there.
a plethora of different objects I'd never encountered before because I never needed them. And so what we're going to do today is we are going to go down 1 to 5, actually no, in reverse order, 5 to 1, and look at the very objects about which I'm speaking. Now before we do get underway here, just a quick disclaimer and a recap. The disclaimer being that some of these objects may well turn up in England. It's just that I didn't have cause to use them back in England, and I don't think that I was an outlier in that regard, whereas the objects I'm about to talk about are actually quite commonplace here in the United States as opposed to in England. Okay, so that's the disclaimer, and the reminder is when I first moved to the United States, I moved to the American Midwest. Very specifically, I moved to the middle of Indiana. I've since moved on to Chicago. Of course, in both places and in much of the northern United States, snow and cold weather is absolutely paramount. That's probably not the right word. There's an abundance of it, shall we say, and we'll be looking at that as compared to the UK in a future video. But without further ado, let's take a look at 5 winter objects I didn't use until I moved to America. Well, this is an interesting one. So shovels absolutely exist in the United Kingdom. It's just that they're usually used for shoveling dirt. And because of the sort of rare event that is snow, you won't usually find somebody purchasing what is referred to as a snow shovel that's sold as a snow shovel. Because there are differences between a snow shovel and a regular shovel. Yeah? It's usually size, because everything is bigger in America, and snow shovels are no different. And of course, snow itself is no different, at least here in the north. It was in my first winter here, my brother-in-law showed me how to use one. I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory. Does what it says on the tin.
Let's
Grab
hope
it
so.
by the handle and whatever that bit is, the neck, and do that and throw it. It's a lot of hard labour. Nobody tells you that going in. And my brother-in-law didn't tell me that going in, and I left with cramp in my arm. Actually, it would have been very useful if you'd have told me about the next entry on this list, you brother. Unfortunately, just like the shovel, I don't have one of those handy to show you because I rent these days. But they are absolutely brilliant. And again, I've only used one once, but it was the absolute coolest machine, literally, because it was filled with snow. But the thing is about it, it's not filled with snow. I mean, it is temporarily, but what you do is you just push it along like this, right through the snow, and it just pushes all of the snow out to the side. It's a bit, usually hits family members, brother-in-laws specifically. I did apologise at the time. And I still haven't spoken to him since. But they are absolutely amazing. We just don't have cause to use them much in the UK. You may see members of the council using them, but not actual human beings. So that was quite a revelation to realise that a lot of people had snowblowers just hanging around in their sheds. And the sheds were covered in snow too, so you had to use the snow shovel just to get into them, to get to the snowblower. It defeated the purpose entirely until you did the garden. Both of these come in handy when you're just trying to get through the snow and to your actual...
So that picture is like, we looked out and saw a load of snow in New Jersey. Saw all our neighbours out with the snow blowers and the shovels. We went, we'll just wait till they've finished and then we'll go out and do ours. Because you have to clear your path. If somebody slips, they can sue you. So you have to make sure that your path is clear. So we went out Went to open we had like a front door that opens like that, and then a storm door that opens out.
Yeah.
And the snow had blown up against the storm door, so we couldn't open the storm door. So we were like,
So you couldn't get out.
what are we going to do? So I said, we'll open the garage and go out through the garage. Open the garage, and as it's getting higher and higher, it's just snow. There was about this much at the top that was, we were like, God, what are we going to do here now? So we had to get the ladders, put the ladders up. Darren climbed to the top of the ladders and then just had to start hitting the top of the
Burrowing his
snow
way out.
until he could actually get outside and then start digging.
How long did that take?
Hours. It was about 5 hours.
Really?
Yeah.
Did you have to
I
get
was-
to work and stuff?
I was
or-
no, because it was a weekend. Luckily,
Why were you so adamant of getting out then?
I know you're after like, oh,
If
oh,
I'm
what a
not
shame.
wasting my weekend 5 hours just to get out of the house, just to open the front door.
because you have to clear your pathway. Because if somebody slips or hurts themselves, then they'll sue you. And I was pregnant with you as well, heavily pregnant. So I needed to know that, you know, if I went into labour, I could get out.
Well, yeah, to be
Yeah,
fair then,
that's
now I
true.
understand that, yeah.
It makes more sense now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh.
Car. We experienced this for about 8 years when we owned a car while living in Indiana, and I will tell you, one of the worst jobs during winter is shoveling the snow away from the vehicle just so you can get out. Sometimes it gets 2 feet deep and, you know, you can't even see your car, much less get in it. And then once you've cleared all that away, you've still got to contend with the ice on the windscreens. And you can either turn on the car, heat it all the way up and just sit for an hour until it all melts. That's not happening. Or something else you could do if you were in a rush, which was me most days because I slept through my alarm, is you could scrape all of that ice off with what is known as an ice scraper. Again, I think they have these in the UK, but they're only used really in very, very extreme circumstances. This is something that you will do multiple times every single winter up here in the Midwest of the United States. I know, I did it, and I got a return to that arm cramp that I got from the shovel. It is just one long winter of arm cramp. I will say this though, there is something quite pleasing about that. If you're wearing the right gloves and it's not too cold out, never do the ice scraping without gloves because you'll regret it 5 minutes after getting into the car. But if you've got gloves on and you're doing that, it is quite cathartic. You know, so long as you don't break the windscreen. Sometimes it feels like you are doing that because you're scraping off basically ice, which can look and sound like glass. And then, once you've scraped off all the ice, right, and there's just bits of powdery ice on the windscreen and bits of snow, the best thing then to do is just open the door and slam it, and you just cause this sort of little avalanche on the car. So long as you don't cause an actual avalanche. You know, if you're living in the mountains, just be careful. I mentioned there gloves. It is very important to have good gloves, but equally important while you're wading through all of this snow is our fourth entry. I truly didn't believe how bad it was going to get in the Midwest until I actually saw it with my own eyes. So after doing all of the shoveling or the snow blowing or the scraping of the ice, I realised that I'd made the mistake of wearing sneakers in the snow the whole time. Don't do that because there's a number of reasons. Firstly, the snow gets inside your shoe. You don't want that. And also, it's just cold and wet all round. So you need to be able to keep your feet warm. I think that's almost the most important thing because those are the things that are going into the actual snow. So to do that, you have to have one of these. Well, not one. You need two. It would be really silly if you only had one. It's a boot, but look at it. It's bigger than me. And I have to get inside this. It is, you do feel protected. I feel like a foot soldier when I'm wearing this. And I do have another one just for the record. It's right here. Sorry, they've not been cleaned since last winter. I'll get round to that. Put one of them down because they are cumbersome and heavy. Arm cramp again. Arm cramp is the thing that happens in winter. But they are absolutely amazing.
I can't imagine you wouldn't use these stuff in England. To be
Yeah.
fair, you wouldn't really use a winter boot to that extent.
No, I have Uggs that I put on when I
or just like sort of like
Wellies.
wellies. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I think what the difference is that the temperature is so much colder there.
Yeah, so that'll
Yeah.
like be waterproof and stuff.
Yeah.
That'll like proper keep your feet warm.
Yeah, and also it's really slippy. They've got like proper big ridges on the bottom. But I remember when we literally first arrived, and it was January, and we were going to work, and I walked out of the apartment, and I went, oh, it's freezing. And as I went, oh, my lip split in three places. That's how cold it was.
Really?
outside.
Yeah.
That was how cool it was
Yeah,
outside.
I just went, oh, and I went, oh, my lip was split in 3 areas and was bleeding. I had a tissue in the car, it was bleeding. That's how
What?
cold it was.
That's a bit
I've
mad.
never heard of that. Like, I get chapped lips and stuff when it's
Yeah.
cold, but
Yeah, no.
That's a bit
oh
extreme.
my gosh.
That's how cold it is.
And they do keep your feet warm. There's absolutely no doubt about that. And if you're ever set upon by an enemy, just kick them between the legs with this, and they'll never come after you again. It's really, though, 2 boots. It's this black boot right there that you
No,
see.
like a sock
but inside
inside.
it is this sort of... I'm going to pull it out. Look at that. It looks like a wrestling
Wow.
boot. I've never noticed that before. Again, if somebody comes at you, just pretend you are Ric Flair. Put that down. They're really good. I love them. I've had these 2 years. Absolutely need them in Chicago, especially if you're cycling in Chicago. That's nuts. Who does that in the snow? I did last winter. I'm a brave soul. I wouldn't be quite as brave, though, if I didn't have the final entry on this list. So this is a face shield, and you know what its important job is that not only does it...
We call that something else over
Balaclava.
here.
Balaclava.
Balaclava or a ski mask.
Yeah. Do you
It sort of
wear?
keeps-
Would you wear one?
No.
No, because
No.
if you do, you look like you're going to rob someone.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that,
You
yeah.
know-
That I was going to say it's for a different use.
The only
Yeah.
time I've worn that is before I've gone go-karting.
Yeah.
And I've had to put that under my helmet.
Yeah. But you see a lot of scrotes going around on push bikes with those on, robbing people.
Yeah. It's just to hide your identity, really,
Yeah.
isn't it?
It is. It is.
know off you and things like that. The important thing that it does is it keeps the cold wind, the harsh wind of Chicago off you. It also keeps those people that come at you off you. They'll think you're a Bond baddie and call MI6 or something. I don't know why I'm wearing this. Sorry if it looks terrifying. I'll take it down because there's no wind in here. I don't really need it. And actually it's making it very hard to breathe, which isn't good when you're trying to present a video. But this is one of the best acquisitions I ever made as an athlete here in Chicago. I'm not an athlete. I mean, I ride to work for recreation. I wouldn't be seen dead wearing this in England. There'd be no reason to wear this in England. You know, you don't want to wear one of these while it's raining. That's for sure, because it would just get soaked all round. In England, I've never known weather that would sort of necessitate this kind of headgear. There's wind, but there's not sort of wind that brings along with it a wind chill of minus a billion. I'm trying to think of a scenario in which you would need it. It doesn't quite go with the tweed hat. But I absolutely love it on me. My wife loves it on me.
I know.
What do you mean you don't? That's it for this episode. Thank you for joining me here in this new year. No live stream tonight, as we would normally have on a Friday, because I'm currently out in the winter weather, probably wearing this as we speak. New year, but same instructions. If you haven't had a chance to do so, please subscribe to Lost in the Pond by clicking my little bell. It's not that, it's just regular size. Everybody has the same one. And a big shout out to all my patrons, without whom none of this would be possible, from the writing to the research to the Bond baddie credentials. If you would like to become a patron of Lost in the Pond, you can do so.
Anyway, yeah.
There we go.
I reckon
Yeah.
they're 5 winter objects we probably use here, to be
I
honest.
don't think
Yeah.
we really need them. The only thing we really need, I think, is one of those little scrapers
Yeah.
for the windscreen.
Yeah.
Daz has one, hasn't he?
Yeah, I've got one in my car.
Have you?
Yeah. Yeah, I've got one. It's got a little glove on it. It's
I
like
need
a
to get
glove
these things.
Yeah.
with the screen. Yeah.
Well, we've just come out of winter, so.
Yeah, I
Maybe
kinda
leave it 6 months.
don't
And
need
plus,
it
your
now.
car's parked underneath the garage, so.
No, it's more when I'm leaving here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I guess so. You just need a scraper and de-icer. Spare wheel.
A spare wheel. Yeah, anyway, hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please hit that like and subscribe button, and we'll catch you in the next one.
Bye.
Cheers.
Bye.